Hey, Heritage Community Church Soul Family. I am really happy to be able to join you in this little video segment. It's basically an update as to where we are as a church regarding our property sale. For some of you, you're real clear and you know what's going on with our property, but for others, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So let me try to bring everybody up to speed. A few years ago, we as a church decided that we would open ourselves up to exploring selling our 12 or so acres that are currently undeveloped on our property. And the objective would be to retire our debt entirely. So the goal has always been, how can we free up money every month rather than paying a mortgage? Could we pay into ministry? For about a year to a year and a half, we ran our Freedom Seed campaign where we raised money to be able to pay for all of the subdivision costs related to our property development. Now, we don't put a shovel in the ground. All we do is figure out how to lay it out. And then we do all the work with the county to get the property subdivided, and then we can sell it to a developer, lock, stock, and barrel, and they take it from there and get into the process of actually developing the land. So when you pull onto the property, behind the church is where we're talking about. All that wooded area behind the church is where we're talking about generally. There will be some changes in boundaries and things like that, but generally that's what we're talking about. And we're hoping that the Lord will favor our position when it comes time to sell, when we get it all finished and it comes time to sell. We're praying that the Lord would help us to do that in a market where we can maximize our income and maximize the retirement of our debt. That's really the goal. We don't want to pay a bank. We want to pay into ministry. So that's the objective of all of it. Now, with me tonight is Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton is our finance committee chairman. He's a faithful member, usher. You know, you see him at church and his family a lot, but he is a professional surveyor. And so he has a vested interest in the well-being of the church. And so we as a church hired Wayne's company to be able to do the surveying, and he has a long-standing respected company in our area that does this and is very familiar with the county and how it works. So Wayne is an internal advocate of our debt retirement. That's the goal. And so we really appreciate Wayne and all of his expertise, and he's going to give us an update as to where we are in the process. It's always a long, drawn-out process whenever you're trying to do anything with the government, and that's what we're doing. So, Wayne, why don't you give us a sense of what's going on?
All right, thanks, Steve. So, as you recall, we embarked on this subdivision process many months ago. And as you recall, I talked about it. It's a 2 or 3 step process. We're still in the first step, but getting near the end of that first step. We've had several meetings with the county. We've gone back and forth with them making comments and us addressing the comments to address the issues they've come up with. And we've come down to what I believe is an approvable plan. We're currently in for review again with the county's review, and I expect that when they come back with their review this time, they will say, yes, we agree with you. We believe we can approve this plan. And the only thing that would be hanging out there at that point would be school capacity. We've talked about this a couple of times. The county is working towards providing additional school capacity, specifically in our area. They recently purchased the Papa John's farm to build Old Mill High School, the new Old Mill High School. That sets off a whole gamut of other things like a new Porterfield Elementary School, a new middle school, a second new middle school, replacing the Cat North, which is on Stevenson Road. It's a multi-year project. And with the current budget challenges we expected to have as of COVID, we were concerned that the county executive would not fund the construction of that old Mill High School West, we're calling it. But he did. The county council and the county executive funded the construction, at least the first half of it. They set it into a 2-year cycle. So that's good news. That starts the ball rolling. We expect that next year they will fund the second half, and that will open up capacity at the high school level. And then the whole ball will roll from there, and we'll do what's called redistricting in the county. We've spoken to the county demographer. We expect that that'll start sometime next spring, maybe late next spring, maybe May. And once the juncturing of seats is complete, we expect to have school capacity for our subdivision. So we're at the point where we're at the goal line, if you will, I believe. We expect that we'll get a letter saying, yes, we can approve it when school capacity becomes available. And then once school capacity becomes available, we'll get our first round of approvals, which would basically vest everything we need to move forward. At that point, you know what you have and they can't take it away unless we don't proceed. So the next step after that would be proceeding to final plan approval, which will take another 12 to 18 months for approval, and then we will be ready to sell. So that's where we are. All things are falling into place as we expected to, although albeit taking a little longer than expected. We knew the challenges we had ahead of us up front, but looks like the Lord's setting us up to do exactly what Steve said, meet our goal.
Well, I thank you for that update, Wayne. And this COVID thing has truly caused some struggles. There's the people that we needed in the office when we needed them in the office. Were basically not in the office because the shutdown and all of that. So things have definitely been delayed, but they've been delayed and we're maybe working in our favor, perhaps, that the school capacity comes in, markets improve as they are doing now. So who knows what will happen? We just have to trust the Lord.
Agreed. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's positive. Thank you, Wayne, for your work. And truly, on behalf of the Heritage Congregation, you have been an incredible advocate, a faithful steward of your responsibilities as an elder and also as the finance committee chair. You basically lead the church in our budgeting and our scrutiny over all of our finances. You help me understand all of the things that I didn't learn in seminary, because nobody in seminary teaches you anything about property development or budgeting or any of that kind of stuff at all. So, God gives our church people such as yourself and others in our leadership to supplement all of my weaknesses as a leader of the church. And so I'm really, really grateful for all that you've been and done for our church. Thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome. It's certainly my honor and privilege to serve in the capacities which I do for the church.
Appreciate that, Wayne. Listen, Heritage Soul family, I need to see you. Well, you need to see me tomorrow night at 7:00. Tomorrow night, 7:00, I'm going to be teaching you how to read the Bible with your heart, not your head. With your heart, not your head. I will be delivering to you tomorrow night, 7:00 during our Facebook Live. And guess what? We're going to be streaming that. If all goes well, we'll be streaming that to YouTube and also our website as well. So just like Sunday morning, you'll be able to see our Wednesday night experience, our midweek oasis, as I'm calling it, on YouTube and also on our website, just like you do on Sunday morning. So this is an expansion of our reach to a couple different other platforms that you would, I think, appreciate using. So I'll be sharing the 7 R's of soul reading. The 7 R's of soul reading. And I think you're going to be really blessed by it. I'm looking forward to teaching this lesson to you. I love you, Heritage Soul family. Don't forget, continue reading Romans 12 as we get to this last part of the series on Romans 12 this coming Sunday. God bless you. Have a great evening or day or morning or whenever you're watching this. God bless you, Heritage Community Church. We love you.